Hi guys, so today we're going to be talking about some questions you're going to need to ask before you sign up to foster. By that I mean that when you're checking out rescues and different places that offer a fostering program, you need to ask your foster coordinator these questions to make sure that rescue works for you, because not all rescues will work for your fostering journey, so you have to figure out which one is best, and the best way to do that is by asking questions. So the first question I would ask is, how long will I have each foster placement? Some rescues will ask you to keep the kittens in your care until they're adopted. My rescue does not do that. When my kittens are 8 weeks old and they're neutered, then they can go back to the shelter as soon as they have room and they're put on the adoption floor. And that's partly because they have so many kittens, they can't put them all on their adoption website. So the best chance for them to get adopted is for them to be on the adoption floor. So yes, they do spend some time in a shelter environment, but they have a lot better chance of getting adopted, which is the goal. So depending on the season and the kitten and the time of year, a whole lot of factors go into how long you might have your foster placement. So obviously if you get a sick kitten, it could be longer. If you get a older kitten, it'll be shorter, so you need to keep that in mind. But you need to know what their policy is on that so that you know exactly what to expect. And that's largely what these questions are. Just questions to ask so you'll know exactly what you're going to be expecting when you sign up to foster. The second question you should ask is, what supplies and costs will be taken care of, and what will you be expected to provide? My rescue provides me with all the basics that I need, all the wet food, and I was given formula when I had to bottle feed my current litter. So I supply things like toys, a litter box, the litter, any blankets, all of that kind of stuff. And most of the stuff I provide are things that I can use again and again with multiple litters of kittens. So it's less of a cost and more of an investment if you're going to be fostering for a while. If you don't know if you're going to be fostering more than once, then I'm sure your rescue could kind of help you out with some more of those investment type of things. I think any rescue or organization that you're going to be working with will provide vet care. I've never heard of a foster parent having to cover vet care unless they're fostering independently or, through their own rescue that they started. So I don't think you'll have to worry about that at all, but it doesn't hurt to ask just so you know what to expect. The third question that you should ask is, will there be an in-home check before you're able to foster? Now, some of the rescues I looked into did require that one of their staff members come out to your home and look around at the area that you're going to be fostering in. Not all places do this. This isn't specifically the reason that I chose the rescue I'm working with, but the one that I work with does not require that. Question number 4 you should ask before you sign up to foster is, if I have to travel, will I be able to place my fosters in a temporary foster home? Sometimes when you travel, you can take kittens with you. Sometimes it works out so you don't have a foster placement when you're needing to travel. Ideally, that would be the case. You would plan around your traveling and not travel when there's a foster in your care, but sometimes it can't be helped. So make sure you talk to the rescue and find out if that's an option. It's really not that big of a deal, but it does help a lot when they're able to place your foster placement in another foster home so that you are able to travel. Just make sure you tell your foster coordinator in plenty of time for them to find another foster home. It's hard enough to find foster homes, especially during kitten season. So make sure that you give them plenty of time to look around and find someone who can foster during that time. Question number 5 that you should ask before you sign up to foster is, what policy do you have about pets in the home? And I'm talking about resident animals, your pet cat or your pet dog, whatever the case might be. If you already have a pet, you probably can still foster. Most rescues will have a policy in place for that. For example, the rescue I work with asks me to keep my foster kittens separate from my cat at all times. They're never allowed to have any interaction with each other. Other places will do a period of quarantine and then supervise interaction between your resident animals and your kittens. But make sure you know what their policy is on that. You want to be able to have a space you can shut a door and keep your foster kittens contained in one room or area and keep them separate from your animals, depending on what that rescue policy is. This isn't necessarily a question you will ask your foster coordinator, but you will want to look at how far away the rescue is, how far away any vet care facilities are. When you're fostering, you can't just take your foster kittens to any vet. For one, not every vet is comfortable in caring for tiny kittens, and the rescue obviously has some cost involved with their vet care. So they have to choose a vet that is cost effective for them, but also takes good care of the animals and they know that they can trust. So you understand why you can't just take your foster kittens to your resident cat's vet. So a quick internet search can take care of this. Just make sure you ask your foster coordinator, where will I be going for vet appointments? Where will I be taking them back to for adoption, if that is the case? Some places will also have you do adoption events, which you will need to also ask about. And that's actually question number 7. Am I expected to drive or transport the kittens to adoption events and things like that? Some people with busier schedules may not be able to do this, so either have someone designated that can do this for you if you are busy most of the time, or make sure you can clear your schedule on certain days for those events. It's important to make sure the kittens get to all their appointments for their health, their vet care and medical care, but also to give them the best chance to get adopted. So if you can't do that, find another rescue or work something out with a friend or family member. Now, after I asked all my questions and got my information, I then asked the rescue, what do I have to do next? What is the next step to sign up to foster? Now, most likely you'll fill out a form, kind of like an adoption form, but it's a fostering form. You might have to give references to your landlord so that they can call and make sure it's okay to have kittens in the house. There's a whole bunch of stuff on those forms so that you need to make sure you fill them out accurately and truthfully. And be patient, because sometimes it takes a little time for the rescue to go through that and double check everything, call the family references, whatever the case might be. And you won't get a kitten right away, even once you're approved to foster. I signed up to foster, I think it was in October or something like that. Obviously that is not kitten season at all. There aren't very many kittens coming in, and the ones that are coming in are in pretty bad condition usually. And I asked for weaned kittens, which are about 4 to 5 weeks old. They're stable. That's what I wanted for my first fostering placement. I also wanted a singleton just to get used to it. So I was very specific with what I wanted, and it wasn't kitten season. So I didn't get my first placement until April. I actually still remember the date. It was a Thursday, April 16th. It was like 7 o'clock and we were just sitting down to dinner. Anyways, so be patient. Be patient with the people you're talking to. Be patient with the process. Make sure you're truthful and honest at all times, because that's part of what makes fostering work so well, is when everyone is working together and being honest and kind. Alright, that's it for today. Don't forget to subscribe, and remember, I'm also running a giveaway right now for an Amazon gift card, so you can visit my Q&A video, and I'll link that in the description and maybe put it in the cards if I can do that. And that'll give you your instructions on how to enter for that. Basically, you'll just comment in that video and say what you will buy with the gift card if you win the giveaway. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.